7 million years ago, this valley belonged only to thunder, claws, and one silent giant.
Every careful step wrote her scent. The pack circled her like a puzzle it hadn't solved yet, and each...
The moment she ran, the valley answered. Raptors peeling back, the tyrant driving in, and one silent giant finally... She folded herself into dead wood and tried to vanish, while above the bark, a tyrant and a titan stepped into the same narrow...
But he finally will. The tyrant tried to drag him down into its killing trench, but Kong answered with the canyon it...
The blow that broke the canyon's grip finally kicked her into the open, and the next time the tyrant's jaws came down, Kong was all...
Was the heartbeat when the hunt changed shape. Teeth hit his arm instead of...
That was the first time the Valial's favorite killer left the ground, and from her crack of shelter in the rock, she watched a new gravity decide.
With one last twist, he snapped the fear out of the valley's spine. And from her crack of shelter in the rock, she listened to the silence.
Once the valley's loudest fear went quiet, he finally turned to see what he'd been bleeding for. And in that hush, the woman in the rock...
After breaking a tyrant in half, he tried something harder, teaching the same hand to clear her a path, while she learned how close you can let a mountain move without running.
The valley had never seen anything like it. A hand that broke a king now offered a...
For the first time in that valley's long memory, the ground itself stood up with a human in its hand, and with every step he took away.
From that ledge, the valley that almost swallowed her looked small and... Past them, the mountain closed around them in living green.
Teeth still followed her on the valley floor, but high above their snapping jaws, he traded flat ground for a trembling bridge of wood.
Even the quiet water had teeth waiting in it, until his shadow claimed the basin and the first place she drank in.
For hours, he'd been the wall between her and the world. Now, in a quiet pocket of stone and water.
Out in the dark, the jungle kept counting her heart like prey. But in that stone bowl, she slept on the... Up on the wasn't applause that... The ridge had just proven it could vanish under him in a heartbeat. So he took her off the skyline and into the fog.
When the cliffs ran out, he let the forest take the hit for them, turning a fall that should have broken her into a controlled crash.
Down on the floor, something else owned the shadows. But up here, on the second skin of the forest, every step he took rewrote the path.
The crown had tried to cut him down like any other animal, so he climbed onto its widest knot and hit the tree like an enemy.
For the first time since she fell, the forest gave her more than teeth. It gave her a line of sight.
walked the edge until the river's own violence sketched a pattern. And in that jagged line of shallow...
Once he knew where the river hid its bones, he started stealing bones from the forest. Every tree he tore out of the rim. Step by step, the giant traded stone for wood until there was nothing solid behind them anymore. Once he stepped fully onto the bridge, it started shedding everything that wasn't moving fast enough. At the edge of what the bridge would hold, he stopped trusting wood and threw himself at stone, one hand buried in the far...
With the bridge gone, the climb became simple and merciless.
Pull by pull, he traded empty air for stone until his shoulders cleared the rim, one leg still swinging over the drop.
When his weight finally hit the far rim, the world didn't break. It bent. He let her be the first to touch the far side soil, tiny footprints forming.
The gorge had let them go, but the forest hadn't agreed yet. Its first hunt.
The first raptor stepped closer, expecting fear, but his answer was fist and thunder, a roar that made the forest floor jump.
The raptor tasted his quake and changed its mind, backing into the trees while his fist rose from the crate.
With the scout gone, he didn't relax. He turned and walked the rim, keeping her high in his hand.
From the rim, he showed her why the valley shook. Herds of giants running in one direction. Big enough.
He studied the giant that ruled the basin, then turned his back on it and stepped off the spur, choosing a narrower...
When the rim narrowed and the forest leaned over the void, the first pack finally jumped. And instead of stepping away from them, he slammed in.
One raptor overreached and found out how deep the gorge really was. He locked his stance, smashed it off his arm, and let the fall take it.
While the pack froze at the mouth of their own kill lane, he drove straight through, bursting onto a wider shelf where the drop stepped back.
On the first shelf wide enough for both his feet and her fear, he finally stopped running and